This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital. And now, here's your host, Cindy Pollard, President and CEO of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back. We're here with one of my favorite people, Kira Wiggins, and the spotlight this week is on San Joaquin Community Hospital, and she is here to talk about the flu. Flu season is up on us, and the importance of flu shots. Good morning, Kira.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
So we're beginning to see a lot of posters, ads, flyers. I received a postcard in the mail, and it's up on my refrigerator talking about the importance of flu shots. Tell us a little bit more about a flu shot. What types of strains does it cover or not cover? Does it cover more than one? What's it designed to do?
Well, it's very interesting. The flu actually has three categories. There's category A, B, and C.
Okay.
Now, categories A and B tend to be the types that cause the epidemics, like remember the H1N1 we had in 2009.
Right.
So those kinds of epidemics are caused by A and B. C tends to be a little bit more mild, doesn't give us a lot of problems.
Okay.
So we tend to focus on the A and B. And the wonderful thing that the CDC has done for us is they change what we take as a flu vaccine each year, depending upon what they're seeing as being the strains of flu that are a problem for us.
Okay.
So what we have this year is a vaccine that covers A and B, so a couple of different strains within each category.
Oh, okay.
So the strain A is going to include the H1N1 and a couple of others, and then also one or two in strain B.
Okay. So a double whammy, so to speak.
Yes,
in
so
your flu shot?
you're getting coverage over several different types of flu that are possible for you with one shot.
Okay, and how long is the shot good for?
Generally, it lasts for about a year, which is why we like to revaccinate every year and get a little booster. And then also, if we have different strains coming out each year, you want to make sure you're covered for each of those.
Absolutely. So what type of reaction can you expect after having a shot? I know I've heard some people say that they actually get the flu. Is that possible?
Well, there's a couple of different things. So if you get the shot, at the spot where you get the shot, you might have a little bit of redness or itching. It might be a little bit warm. It should only last for a day or two. Not everybody has that reaction, but it's possible.
Okay.
Now, in addition to that, some people do find that they might have some very mild symptoms of a flu. So it could be like a little scratchy throat, maybe some fever, some aches, different things like that, but very mild, and it should only last for a day or two.
Okay.
Now, though, if somebody has not had a flu shot before and they know they have an allergy to eggs or to gelatin or to any antibiotics, you want to see your doctor before getting a flu shot to make sure, because some of those things can be in the flu shot, so that can cause an allergic reaction.
Okay, and so it would be an allergic reaction, not necessarily giving you the flu or passing on something like that.
Right. But like I said, some people do have very, very mild flu symptoms for a day or two. And that's what sometimes people say, the flu shot gave me the flu. It's actually those very mild symptoms.
Okay. So who should actually get a flu shot? You hear the warnings about if you're at a high risk or if you're in the high risk group. So who should get them?
Well, really, it's recommended everybody get it. Who wants to get the flu?
Not I.
Nobody, right? So really everybody, but if you have a compromised immune system for whatever reason, maybe you have a chronic disease, we have diabetes, something that compromises your immune system, definitely get the flu shot. Also the elderly and the very young, because they're more susceptible. Immune systems don't tend to be as strong.
Right.
So obviously those people need it as well.
Okay. Now, I think I had my first flu shot. It's probably been about 4 or 5 years ago now. I, never did before. And I'm asthmatic. And I had always been in that high-risk group. You should have a flu shot, but I was always too busy, didn't have time. I was always healthy, didn't worry about it. But it seems that, lately, particularly here in the Valley, my asthma has been more severe. And so I make it a point to now get the flu shot each year just to, because who wants to be really sick?
Right. And because your asthma has worsened, that means your immune system is probably challenged a little bit more. So it is even more important. So good thinking.
Okay, good deal. So what can employees do to keep or employers do to keep employees healthy during this time of the year?
We definitely don't want people out sick, right?
Right.
Of course, as
it
employers.
affects the bottom line.
So, yes. So the first thing always comes to prevention.
Okay.
So encouraging employees and your staff to wash their hands. That's the number one thing people can do. Wash your hands regularly. Also, the virus that causes the flu is carried in our mucous membrane. So your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Try to keep your hands away from those places because you touch that and then the table.
Touch the surface.
Yep, and then everybody else touches it. So that's how it spreads so easily.
Okay.
Also, though, making sure that we're keeping ourselves healthy. Get plenty of sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, compromises the immune system. And then also eating a healthy diet. I know you've got your good juices here today, so that can help for
2
sure.
cups of juice right now.
And then also stress management. Stress really, really wipes out the immune system. So employers can help their employees by helping them employ some stress management techniques. But then, of course, people get sick anyway sometimes. And encouraging people to stay home because that spreads it around to everybody. People think in the way our culture is, we think, oh, we can tough it out, right?
Yeah, right.
But really, we're spreading it to more people. And then the more people that are sick, then again, that is going to affect our productivity.
Well, now you talk about people staying home. At what point in an illness is someone contagious?
Well, the difficult thing is you can be contagious up to a day before you have symptoms.
Oh.
So you can be spreading it around and don't even know you have it. So that part's a problem. And then you can be contagious 5 to 7 days after becoming sick.
Oh,
so
goodness.
most of us, we get the flu. If you do stay home, you have that worst day, stay home for a day, maybe 2 days, and then go back to work. Well, you can still be contagious at that point.
For another 2 to 3 days after that.
So one of the things that a lot of people are thinking about doing more is having people work from home.
Work from home, right.
Yeah, if that's a possibility, if you've gotten sick, stay off for the whole week and see if you can still work from home, and that keeps us from spreading it. So, you might be well enough to work, but you're just still kind of sniffly, then that's a good time to stay home.
But, if you're sick, and you should stay home and you should rest and you should give your body the time off that it needs to mend itself so that you can come back healthy and strong.
Absolutely.
If you're at home and you're sick and you're doing work, you're sort of defeating the purpose of helping to bolster your body.
You're absolutely right. And I 100% agree with you. And we do not embrace that enough in our culture.
Right.
But if you're feeling like I'm well enough to go back to work, but it's only been a day or two, that's when I'm thinking, then if there's a compromise here, maybe then you're well enough to be working, but you don't want to be spreading it around to others.
Okay. So how do you tell the difference between cold, flu, allergies? Because a lot of it's going around right now.
Yeah, and it gets confusing.
It does, and sick is sick.
Right, really doesn't matter. We're sick.
Right. So.
Well, if you really need to know, you can do a blood test to find out if it's the flu. And usually if it's gotten more severe, then your doctor will test to see what's going on.
Okay.
Usually the biggest thing that indicates it's the flu is the severity of the symptoms.
Okay.
So with a cold, generally, it's more like stuffy nose, runny nose, those kinds of things.
Okay.
With the flu, then generally a dry cough that's a little bit more intense. You got it. Ache, fever, and usually
Sore
it's
throat.
accompanied by just really a severe fatigue. When you just can't really move around, you're just I can't keep awake here, I just can't move much. That's the flu. The cold doesn't do that.
Okay.
And allergies don't do that either.
Okay.
And allergies sometimes, though, we do see because it does wear us down, then it turns into the flu because our immune system's worn down from the allergies. So keeping your allergies controlled is an important step in preventing the flu as well.
Okay. Okay, that's important. So we talked a little bit about when employees are contagious or when people are contagious and they should stay home. As they're starting to feel something coming on, I guess what guidance would you give them in terms of determining when they should stay home versus not?
As soon as you start to feel symptoms, you should definitely stay home. You're starting to feel it even halfway through the day. You're at work. I'm just dragging a little bit. Go home.
Go home.
Because like I said, probably even the 24 hours before you started feeling those symptoms, you were contagious. So we definitely know you're contagious now. So let's get you away from everybody else.
Go away. Go away. We love you, but go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I understand San Joaquin Community Hospital is having a free drive-through flu shot clinic.
Yep.
On November 8th.
This Saturday coming up.
This Saturday. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me a little bit more about that. How does it work? How many do you expect to immunize? What do people need to bring? Where do they line up?
Well, we do this every year. This year is the first year we're partnering with Kaiser Permanente, so they'll be out there also serving their members.
Oh, okay.
So if you have Kaiser
Great.
Permanente insurance, then you can come out as well. We will be downtown on Chester and 27th Street,
Okay.
and we begin giving shots at 7 a.m. People tend to start lining up early. So,
right.
we see people out there 5:30, 6 o'clock starting to line up.
Oh,
We
my
have
goodness.
security out there that will direct traffic. So depending on how busy it is, it's very well organized.
Okay.
So just show up and they'll direct people where to go.
Okay.
We begin at 7 and we don't stop until we run out of vaccine.
Wow.
We currently have 650 doses. So, first come, first serve.
Right. Okay. And so if someone is coming, where should they line up, or where should they plan to arrive?
27th and Chester.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll be directed from there.
Okay. So then they could actually enter from any direction that I'm assuming.
Yeah, there'll be signs, and the security will be there to direct them where to go.
Okay. Now you've done this for the past several years, haven't you?
Yes, we've done it. I don't even know, longer than I can remember.
Okay.
But yeah, many years we've been doing this.
Okay. Do you expect this to be a bigger flu season, or?
We're not expecting a necessarily more intense flu season.
Okay.
We are expecting a busy clinic. People are a little nervous because of Ebola. Not that Ebola has
Right.
anything to do with the flu,
Right,
but
right.
people are just paying attention more to their health
Right.
when those kinds of things are in the news. So we are expecting more people to be coming out and protecting themselves.
Okay. And is this the first year that you've partnered with Kaiser?
This is the first year we partnered with them
Okay.
for this, so we're very
Okay.
excited.
Great. Now, did that increase the number of vaccines that you have available in the clinic?
Well, it does because we'll be doing our clinics separately. We're together, but they do their patients and we do everybody else.
Okay.
So they have their own. We have the 650 doses. They have their own additional doses.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
there's more than 650.
Absolutely. Yeah. For if you have Kaiser Permanente insurance, then they will be providing vaccine for everybody who shows up with Kaiser insurance.
Fantastic. So in order to make sure that you don't catch the flu, what are some things you can do?
Eat healthy.
Eat healthy.
Get lots of rest.
Wash
manage
your
your
hands.
stress. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Okay.
And stay well hydrated.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Kira, for being with us.
Thank you.
And I may see you at the flu clinic.
Excellent. We'll look for you.
Okay. I'm Cindy Pollard with the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. You are watching Strictly Business. We're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll be at the closing bell. Thanks.